All right.
All right. Good morning or afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our Nourish the Goddess Within series. And my name is Angie Gray, and I hope probably a lot of you guys know who I am. I'm a holistic wellness coach. Lots of kids, married for a long time, and my purpose and vision for what I do is to meet people where they're at and to empower them through the foundation of understanding their worth and their value, why they came here, their purpose, their story, to be able to sort of remind them of all of that so that they can have the wind beneath their wings, if you will, to share their story with the world. Because like before we're doing this interview, I'm going to introduce you to ReShonda. ReShonda and I were just talking, and we just prayed a little bit about the world can look so big and it can look so ugly at times. And right now we're going through some things, right, which we always are. However, what we want to remind each other of is that we have a story and we need each other to meet each other where we're at every single day and give a smile, give love, give encouragement every single day to one person at a time. And that's really what changes the world. So that's what Nourish the Goddess Within is about. Interviewing women that have stepped outside the box and walked into what they're passionate about and are changing the world one person at a time with what they're passionate about. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm excited to introduce to you RaShonda Young. RaShonda, instead of me botching, I just want to tell you guys how we met. RaShonda and I met. She has an entrepreneurial business, Popcorn Heaven. I'm going to let her tell you more about that. I was attracted to her right away. She was doing, I'm not sure, she was at a venue and she was sharing her awesome popcorn recipes and not recipes, samples. And I love popcorn. And so she and I just started talking, and I just really knew that she was someone I wanted to hear more about her story. So that sort of happened for like a year. We were kind of connecting and we'd see each other. We finally got together. We nurtured a relationship over 8 months, I think. And we just kept peeling layers back, right? Of
Yes.
what we're passionate about, our experiences. And she is really like the top 5 people that have made such an impact in my life, and I'm just excited about our future. So we partnered with USANA Health Sciences, which is my product partner through my coaching business, and that's how we met. So would you mind, RaShonda Young, taking the floor, telling us first a little bit about who you are and then what you do?
Okay. All right. So you are so awesome, Angie, and thank you for just such a wonderful introduction. Like, thank you. But again, RaShonda Young is my name, and I am a native Iowan. And I realized when I was in college that I probably would not end up working for a company long enough to get a pension plan. So that was at about the age of 20 that I realized that. And so I just kept looking for ways to be able to fund a retirement for myself. At 20. And so after college, my focus was, I had regular jobs, but my focus was, okay, what can you do like to build wealth? And so I started buying real estate. And the crazy thing about that was I had literally no money because I just graduated college. My credit was really, really bad because I had just found out I was the victim of identity theft. And they took me through the ringer within about a 3-month period, like tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And so like everything was pitted against me with trying to buy houses with no money, no credit. But I knew what the big vision was for me, and I knew what God had really kind of planted in my heart. And so I thought nothing will stop me. Like people who knew what I was going through in the business world, in the legal world, knew, they kept saying, oh, it's going to take 7 to 10 years for you to be able to climb out of what they've done to you. And I'm like, yeah, not happening, not part of God's plan. So at 20, it was right after my 25th birthday. So it took about a year for me to navigate through all that had gone on with me. and I had bought my first rental property. So that's how the whole entrepreneurship thing started. I always had a job on the side, or I shouldn't say a job on the side, I guess my main job, but then there's always something on the side. I've done, so that's been for the last, I don't know, 15 years or so that I've been buying, holding, selling, fixing up real estate, however. And then that, or while doing that, I also was really intrigued about online before it became like the deal. So I did quite
a little bit there. So repeat that, would you, for me? We cut out
oh,
a little
sure.
bit. You were intrigued by online.
Online marketing. And so I started selling online, and I did that for quite a while with actually quite a bit of success. It was actually really fun. And then my job sent me away to do some catastrophe work down in Texas. I think I was at, I don't know, I was somewhere. I was at a few places. And so that kind of put a halt to what I was doing because I was shipping things for myself. So there's been the real estate, there's been online marketing. I picked that back up. And then 3.5 years ago, so it was actually 4 years ago this month, that God had put this, just something in my spirit that I need to be doing something more, something, in addition to what I was doing, which was running my dad's companies at this time. And Popcorn Heaven was kind of born in my mind and in my spirit 4 years ago. But the actual physical manifestation of it came about in February of 2014. So about 3.5 years ago.
Which, by the way, I mean, limited time, I guess, to choose what we think is most important to share with that story there. How you felt, God speaking to you about what direction to take, and even getting Popcorn Heaven is an incredible story to me. It's an incredible story. We might have to do part 2, but keep talking about what's most important to you, but keep on.
So, but I'll kind of go back. One of the things that I realized about myself at 20, and part of the reason why I knew I probably would not get a pension from anyone, was because my heart has always been a heart for serving and giving. And what I saw was, if I was stuck in a regular job for 40, 50, 60 hours a week, I probably wouldn't have as much time as what I would like to be able to devote to service and to mission work and to volunteering. And so that was another thing that really kind of fueled that passion for entrepreneurship, so that I would have more flexibility, hopefully, with my time. So then fast forward to now, and Popcorn Heaven. So 2014 February is when I opened my store in Waterloo, Iowa. And then very quickly I started getting inquiries from other people about wanting to open Popcorn Heavens. And I didn't, 2 months in, I'm getting, some serious inquiries. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, just give me a little time, to get this figured out. And so in it was actually September of 2014 is when I sold my first license for Popcorn Heaven. And it was in December that first licensed location opened. And so since then, there have been 4 or 5 others that have come aboard. And so that's just kind of its own thing that I'm working on the side. And so that's been fun. Being an entrepreneur is not the easiest thing. And so one of the fun things about the way that I'm doing this is that there is some opportunity just to kind of mentor and guide and have people learn, hopefully, from some of my experiences and things that I didn't do all that great.
Yeah.
And so I can hopefully help to teach them so that they don't have to run into the same things I ran into.
Yeah.
But it's also nice because I learned so much from them as well. So it's a mutual learning. And it's just awesome.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I love that you brought that up. When you were, or why, what in you do you think fueled this fire to keep learning and to keep looking for that thing that fills you up? or that would keep fear at bay. Like, you seem, when I'm hearing your story, you seem like you were fearless the whole time. Like, nope, that's not going to happen. Nope, don't tell me that. That's not going to be my case. What in you kept you moving forward with such confidence? And were there ever times of doubt and I can't do this?
You know that my faith is really, really important to me. And truly, through all the things that I've done and been through, that's been the thing that's kept me fearless. There have been times where, like, all the odds were stacked against me, and it's like there's this pile of bricks up there that looks like it's about to fall on my head. But I know, I've always known in my spirit the things that God is leading me to do, and I know that He's not going to let those bricks just fall and crush me. I've, like I said, I've gone through a lot, but I just know, and I also know that I live one life. I've got this one life, and at the end of my days, I don't want to be thinking, oh, I should have done this. I wish I would have taken that chance. I don't want to have all these I should haves, and I wish. Most things in life that you try are not like life or death. There are very few things that are life or death. And so when I look at it like that, and I think, if this doesn't work, is it going to kill me?
Yes.
Well, no, probably not. And so that just keeps me going. There's nothing been that major that I just think, oh, I'm going to be taken out like this.
Yeah.
So I just keep going.
You talked about how you're in this position where, as people are buying your franchise, you're able to pay forward to them the lessons you've learned along the way.
Yes.
It seems like that's a now thing, but I know that hasn't just been a now thing. But I love that you recognize that in you, and that you have this trust that these lessons that you're learning are always for maybe what's next in the journey.
Absolutely.
So you see it two things. You see it like, this is I trust, therefore I can trust the things that are coming my way. And then I also know that it's never just about me. That just now, it's different words. It's never just me. I'm coaching really myself when I'm sharing with other people. So what I'm trying to zero in on, because I love this so much, and this is where part of why we align so much. I don't know why I've had this faith, myself included. I understand that, and we align there. I always have been through a lot of my life as well. But what do you do? How do you stay? I'm driving for an answer to a question, which is a terrible way to interview, but I don't know how else to do it because it's really big for me. And I know for you too. So how do you keep yourself connected? Well, I don't want to say connected because it is connected. How do you keep that trust? Because, so many of us will start as entrepreneurs, or we get stuck in fear to move forward in whatever it might be, a relationship change, or a business opportunity, or whatever it is, we can get stuck. And it comes down to believing in ourselves. So how do you stay in alignment with what you know your truth is?
Well, first is knowing why. Like, why am I doing this? What is the bigger picture? Because the bigger picture was not real estate. The big picture was not popcorn. That's not the big picture. The big picture is what is driving me forward. And the big picture wasn't money. The big picture was, I want to have the time to be able to devote to service. It's a huge passion. I want to have the time to be able to spend with my family. I know that, and with my friends, just quality time that I have with the people that are around me, and to just be able to give back. There's so much that I know that God has put inside of me, that, and the experiences I've gone through have been like, some of them are like, okay, you've got to be kidding. There's no way that happened. And it's like, no, it really did. But, this is the fruit of it. This is the other side of it. And to be able to share that with people, to hopefully give them hope as well. And so it's like this big picture of, why are you doing this? Why do you, have a passion for empowering women? Why do you have a passion for, health and wellness? Why do you have a passion for just serving others? So that's the big thing. It's like knowing my why. Why am I doing this? And that why is always bigger than me. and it's always bigger than money.
Yes. We definitely are going to need to have a part of this because we have about 5 tops, maybe 10 more minutes. And so we're definitely going to have that part 2 because those questions you just asked were, what are they, rhetorical questions? Those are questions I want to keep asking that I think are really important. Like, what are some of the hardships or the difficulties that came up in your life that kept, because that's, I think, a big thing. Back to that thing, keeps people from moving forward, keeps people feeling stuck. But to find out what you're passionate about first is really important, and to be able to have the trust to believe that you're worthy to walk out in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all part of this big picture, like you keep bringing us back to, which is so great. You just mentioned empowering women.
Yes.
I know we also align on that. I don't know what we don't line up on. I wanted to see if you could let me know. I want to end on something, a nugget I want to share with them, but just really briefly, because I think it'll be a good lead into sharing more of your story, that being a Washington thing. We're going to get to that, but could you share why USANA has been, majority of the women that are going to be watching this particular video are going to want to know what you do, who you are, why you were attracted to, or why you were drawn to be an entrepreneur, what you do now, and how USANA fit into what you were doing, and how you see that being a part of this picture in any way.
Okay. So with USANA, the partnership, as you said, we had about 8 months that we met. And I really, like every book that you have had given me or link that you gave me for a video or whatever, I went through all of that stuff.
You did.
Because I'm a seeker, but I'm also one who's gonna, I always seek knowledge, but I'm also one who's not gonna just sit on it, So I went through all of it, and when I was looking at all the things that I already knew about health and wellness, and I looked at the things that USANA finds to be important, and I looked at the products, I thought, for my overall health, and I went through a period of unhealthiness because I was working so much with my business. And so just seeing, and then with experiencing the products and knowing that I felt better, it just made a huge difference, because for me to be able to give to others in the way that I really desire to be able to give to others, my body has to be in great condition, like inside and out, but it starts on the inside. And that was just a big thing that with all the busyness that I had been going through, I was halfway taking care of my inside, which is not good. I needed to be fully doing that. And I just, like I said, I've seen some good results from using the product. So it's been good.
Thank you for that. And I'm so honored to be part of that. And one of the things we talk about, we've been to some events we've done at the home, talking with other entrepreneur women and women that are wanting to take that next step. We seem to attract, and I know you do too, especially now with that partnership with USANA. First, I think what that USANA part does is, it, to me, when I'm sharing with other women, it's certainly not all of what I do, but it is an important piece. And that's where I think you felt an alignment that this is an important piece, not only for you, but what you can offer people that are drawn to you.
Yes.
Not what we're branding ourselves like, supplement people. That's not what it's about. It's about really genuinely taking care of this vessel so that we can walk out in our highest purpose and do what lights us up, which in turn lights up other people.
Yes.
Right. So that, and then the business opportunity of it too. We didn't get to talk about your incredible wealth of knowledge in health and wellness. She's incredible, you guys, what she knows. And I'm seriously, we could keep peeling back these layers of RaShonda Young. And I want to have a part B, if you'll agree to that.
Sure.
This was sort of just like that first or one layer of kind of just getting to know you a tinge. I love that you talked about residual income. I loved so with your real estate, that's residual, that keeps coming. That's an investment with your Popcorn Heaven, and be able to sell those. What do you call them again?
The licenses.
Thank you. So you get kickbacks from that residual income. And do you see USANA as potential residual income as we move forward?
Yes.
Right.
So yes, multiple streams of income has
Yes.
been incredibly important to me. And my goal is always figuring out, like, how many streams of income do I have and how quickly can I get to 7?
Yeah.
Because that seems to be the number where there's like serious freedom.
Yes, we have that in alignment too, guys. We just like 7 kids. It's just, oh, that's a whole couple more layers down, but it's awesome. Yeah, so that too. So I love talking about empowering women through understanding their value, their worth, their story, to
Yes.
figure out what they want and what they don't want. And it's okay to
Yes.
ask that. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to say yes.
Yes.
Trust that. For us, we know, and this is another layer to talk about. I kind of talked about it. For us, we believe and we pay forward the importance of meditation, time with your source, time with God, so that you can remember and every day remember who you're connected to, why you're here, how loved you are. That is what I think that's why we love each other, is because we share that.
Yes.
It's just so full, and why we want to connect with each other and other women is to pay that forward, because women, ladies, we will light this planet up. There is so much more of this than there is the ugly, and we really do. We were in tears before this interview.
Yeah.
That's really why we do what we do. The residual income, the income that we're generating, that we look for time freedom, that's not what it's about. That is a cherry. And you see my vision board in the back. All those things are manifestations of how loved I am. And so the money is a manifestation of how loved I am. And I get to give back. So I hope the audience is hearing, number one, just how amazing ReShonda is in her service, her knowledge, her experience are absolutely incredible. And I want them to learn more from you.
Okay.
Tell me just a tidbit, and then we're going to get off the phone because you have an appointment or the interview. ReShonda's amazing, you guys. So can you just, I don't know how to do this without telling the whole story, but can you tell us about a certain phone call or an email, was it? I can't remember, phone call, an email that you got a couple of years back concerning the President of the United States and our Capitol?
Okay, so yes.
How do you do that? I don't know, but
yeah. So well, I've got a few more minutes. So I've had a passion, as I said, for empowering women. And one of the things when I started working with my dad was I saw that he was not being fair in his pay with women. And I'm not okay with doing things that I know are not right. And so we talked about it. There wasn't really any movement. And so I just made changes, and I thought, well, if I lose my job, at least these women have more money now, and I'll find something.
You're in charge of that a lot, but
yes. And so that really is how things got fueled with like pay equality, because I didn't really recognize how things were incredibly not equal, and his way of thinking was not so far-fetched from where other people were thinking. I realized
real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like that was key to me when you were sharing that story. As aware as I feel about things, like I can't see, when you shared that specific with me, I was like, what, wait, they can do that? Okay, can you share that?
Right. So the deal was, and this has not just been him, this has been stories that I've heard from other people, is the thought of, well, the women have husbands to be able to take care of them. And these men, they have kids, they have families, they have child support, they have all these things. And I'm looking kind of cross-eyed, like, are you kidding me?
So men should get paid more. Women should get paid less.
We should get paid less.
A little bit more.
And men should be paid more for equal jobs, or even if the woman is doing more or in a higher position. It could be the woman who is the manager, supervisor, still getting paid less than the men that she's supervising because they're men.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that's stupid.
Yeah. I was blown away that's really what happens. Like when it boils down, that's what it is.
Yes. And that was the story, not just in his businesses before I start switching things around, but in others. And so with that knowledge, because I'm thinking, that's lower pay is affecting so many things. It's affecting your Social Security down the line. It's affecting how much you can save for your retirement. That's why it's one of the reasons why women are impoverished at much higher rates than men when they get to retirement age, because they haven't earned as much during their working years. And a lot of it is because of discrimination. And so it's like, as much as I can make awareness for that and fight against it, I will. And so, and as you know, also, Angie, I'm not like this, I
No.
want to be out front person. Like usually if I can hide behind the scenes, I will.
Yeah.
But if there's something big and I'm the one who is set out front, then okay, I'll do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And so I was, my story of the things that I was doing and being vocal about got to Nancy Pelosi and some of the women in Congress. And so that was the first invitation to speak about like women's issues and pay equality. And so I was invited to speak on the steps of Capitol Hill at this big event called When Women Succeed, America Succeeds. And so all the women of Congress were there, and it was a most amazing experience. And it's one where I still look back and think, are you kidding me that I really got that opportunity? Like, I'm in Iowa. Like, who's even paying attention to me over here?
Yeah.
And
so, you were actually a speaker. You spoke on a panel, or you spoke by yourself? Which time was this?
So this was when I was there with Nancy Pelosi and women of Congress for the When Women Succeed, America Succeeds. And that was an individual speech on the steps of Capitol Hill. And
you gave an individual speech. I want to be really clear, because like she said, she's the back. She'd rather not. I said, listen, ReShonda, to be all shy about everything. So you spoke to this vast number of women that were there to talk about these issues. You spoke, RaShonda Young, popcorn heaven girl.
Yes. And, I'm also, even though we're doing this right now, I'm not big about being in front of cameras. And yeah, there were lots of cameras there too. Like, oh my gosh. So they made it into a pretty big deal. And so then the next opportunity was, with keeping vocal and speaking at different women's events and organizations and just whatever I can, just to make women understand that they have power, that they're worthy, that they can go out and do things, whether they're single, married, it doesn't matter. We've all been gifted in a certain way, and just don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Just if it's in your heart, there's a way to get things done. And so I got a message one day when I had come into Popcorn Heaven, and it said, they said, you got a call from the White House. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And like, no, seriously, this guy from the White House wants you to call him back. And I look, and there's like a 202 area code. And I'm like, oh, well, they might be telling me the truth. Let me call him back. And so I called, and he said that they do this, it's a working families type of a recognition. And they do these things called Champions for Change. And so I was somehow on their radar, and they chose me as one of their champions for change when it came to working families. And it was, it was incredible. It was, maybe 12 to 14 of us. And the amazing thing was, though, that you've got like the president of Microsoft and the president of Patagonia and the presidents of these big companies, and you've got some other normal people like me, but you've got like these big time people that you're just like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, I'm here, and you've got the recognition of the president and the White House, and just these big things just saying thank you for standing up. Yes. And it's just amazing. When I think about it, I think as reserved and introverted as I really am, how did they find me, for one? Yeah. And I think about it, and I think I'm just doing what I know to be right. I'm not doing anything for recognition. I'm just trying to make a difference, a positive difference in people's lives. That's all I'm trying to do. And so it's just been pretty amazing, just to have some of these opportunities just doing what I know in my heart to be right.
Yes. Fill in a couple blanks. The President of the United States at the time, President Obama. Well, first of all, you were on some of the speakers were. Second.
With that one, it was the President of Patagonia, the clothing company. You've got the CEO, President of Microsoft.
Yeah.
I lose names fast, unfortunately, but those were two of the bigger ones that were there, getting the same honor and recognition as I was. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, seriously, if I didn't have probably the pictures or videos, I just said, no, that really didn't happen.
And on that note, the video is where I was kind of getting to. There were other pretty powerful women there on the panel too that spoke, or is that the first one?
Oh, I think now we're thinking of the Working Family Summit, which was last year in June.
Yeah.
So that was where 5,000 women from around the world congregated, and I was asked to be a speaker on a panel for that event, which was a separate event. And that was incredible. Holy cow, that was incredible. You had, from Michelle Obama to Oprah Winfrey to, Kerry Washington. It was Billie Jean. I mean, it was like all these amazing, amazing, amazing women who were part of the lineup. And I mean, and I just literally had to just take a picture of my badge that said RaShonda Young speaker. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I want to get to that part where the president, and you do have a clip of that, which I told you I'm going to start sharing with people.
You did.
Actually, a clip where the president is kind of closing things after the event, yes? And
yes.
He recognizes RaShonda 2 or 3 times, right?
Yeah.
As RaShonda Young, he refers back to what she spoke about 3 times. Yeah. So, and I know for you, that isn't even what this is about. I know the message of what you're sharing here, which is just, I love so much about you, but I know is so true to your heart. It isn't that you were actually there. It's the journey that got you there and the joy along the way. And the manifesting of, it's never about just you, but the manifesting of, RaShonda, look, you're walking out what's bringing you joy. You are staying in alignment with what we're going to do together to create goodness and love in this world. And I'm going to continue opening up doors for you. And so that was a manifestation of the love and the worth and the value of you from your creator. And so that is what we're doing. That is what you want people to know. Yes, it was great. And all this recognition is amazing. We can't believe this is, that this is me, blah, blah, blah. But this is you.
Yes.
You, if this is what you want, it doesn't have to be like that, but whatever it is for you.
Yes. And all of the publicity was not what I wanted. Honestly, that was not. But the thing, even during those things and speaking at those summits, just knowing that even during those times, like, you're impacting people right there, you're giving them encouragement, and hopefully you're giving them courage and inspiration just to know how worthy they are, just how good they were made to be. And, just the impact being so vast is what is absolutely amazing, because God knows that my heart is to just really impact people's lives for the better. That's it.
Yes, and you are. Every single day, I know you've impacted my life so much, and I'm so excited to share this with other women and men, whoever. So we're going to close, but I want to say thank you so much for this. I'm inviting you to come back to another Nourish Your Goddess Within interview. I know that you and I are going to be doing some things together in the future very soon. So we're going to be inviting women to come and hear what we're doing in the community, why we're passionate about it. So I thank you for that too. Is there any last things you want to say before we close?
Just thank you. Thank you for spending your time with me this morning, and just for what you're doing. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you for the opportunity. And when I post this, all of you, please post your questions at the bottom in the comments. And then RaShonda, I know we'll get back to you with any specific questions you have as well, as I will do the same. So you all have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye, RaShonda.
Bye, Angie.